Hello everyone and welcome back to Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman and today we are doing another magazine cover. This one is based on a May cover from Elle and it is definitely going back to that Audrey Hepburn How to Steal $1 Million. We are kind of changing it a little bit to fit our own faces, but it is definitely inspired by that magazine cover. So if you want to learn how to get this look, then stay tuned. As always, we are going to start fresh-faced. I've just put on my skincare and now we are going to prime the face. So I'm going to use my NARS primer, the tinted one, and take that from my lash line all the way up to my brow. Trying not to get into the actual hairs. If you have brow hair, your makeup is going to stick pretty well naturally, and if you don't have any hair, then you need to get a pencil or something like that to stick to the skin a little bit better. But otherwise, you don't really need to prime your brows. I'm going to take my black liner . It is early in the morning, and if you've seen some of my videos, if I film in the morning, my eyes tend to water, so I'm really going after that tight lining. And I'm just very gently pulling up on the lid. Okay. This is definitely a lip look, so we are going to do complexion first and then go back and do the eyes. She's wearing barely any eye makeup, and even though we're going to alter it a little bit more to fit our own faces, we still want to stay true to the original look. So I'm going to take my corrector, just pop that on. I've been eating a lot of vegetables lately, and I honestly feel like my under eye area is brightening up. I am not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist. I have no idea if there's a correlation, but I'm just putting it out there. If you also struggle with dark under eyes, I've also been drinking a crazy amount of water too. Maybe not a crazy amount, but definitely a good amount. Taking my fluffy concealer brush, just working that into the skin. Kind of pulling on the edges and patting in where I want the coverage. Now we're going to go in with our foundation. We're going to give it a little shake, make sure all the pigments are evenly dispersed. This is still the 4.5, which I'm really loving. I can see a huge difference in photographs, so I think I'm going to stick with this shade. I think 4 for me is just a little too light and a little too yellow. And even though I would say that I have more yellow in my skin than pink, the 4.5 just seems to work a little bit better, even though it's kind of like a peachy, it's like a peachy pink. Just blending that in from the center of the face out. I still have a little bit left on my hand. My nose could use a little extra coverage. taking the rest with my brush, bringing that down my neck to make sure everything is nice and blended. All right, now we are going to powder. I'm just going to tap underneath my eye and make sure I grab any excess. I'm going to use a different finger underneath this eye because your fingers can get kind of clogged with the product. And I'm just going to slightly dab around areas where too much foundation can kind of collect. This is a Bobbi Brown move for sure, where you just kind of tap in your foundation and pick up the excess on your hands. Okay, I'm going to take my powder, which I accidentally dropped the other day. Luckily it did not shatter, but it definitely kind of cracked a little bit. I'm using my precision powder brush from BK Beauty, powdering through the center of my face. I'm going to let that sit for just a moment. I'm going to go in and do my brows first. And I'm going to go between Sandstone and Brun. I've definitely been enjoying a darker brow lately. I think it gives a nice balance to my features, and with my hair this color, I think it just kind of works. So Sandstone and Brun in the first part of the brow, and then focusing a lot on Brun in the outer third for sure, and maybe even dragging a little bit into the outer half. Trying to relax my face to make sure I'm getting everything that I need in the right places. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a little bit of bronzer, because when you're doing a red lip, it's nice to have a little bit of color on the face. So I'm just going to do a bronze contour. I'm not really trying to chisel the cheeks, so I'm not going this way with my brush. I just want to add a little bit of color to my face, because sometimes a red lip can really wipe you out. A good red lip won't, but it is, even with a really good red lip, a good color, it can still kind of knock you out. All right, I'm going to wait on the blush because I want to make sure that I'm choosing the correct color. Now, Rachel's red is kind of like a bright cherry red. This is Palazzo from Lisa Eldridge, so we're going to see if we like it. Actually, you know what? When you're doing a red lip, it's a good idea to actually see what you're doing instead of from far away. Now this is a luxuriously Lucent lipstick shade, so that's why I went in with so many swipes to really get that impact of the red lip. If you get one of her other lipsticks, then I'm sure you don't have to go in with that many. And if you wanted something a little bit more sheer, then just one swipe will give you that impact. But we're going for a little bit more impact, and so that's why I did so many swipes. Also, if you notice, I was changing how I was holding the lipstick. Your lipstick can act as a very soft lip pencil, so make sure just with your brushes that you're using all aspects of your product because they act differently how you're holding them. And I'm definitely going to put on a gloss even though her lips look matte. Like, we could stop here, but I need a gloss because I'm just so dry. And we can always take down the shine if we need to. Okay, that's looking really good. And it's definitely the star of the show, so we don't want to do anything too crazy. I have my Duo blush from NATASHA DENONA, and I think I'm just going to mix these two colors together really lightly. I'm going to take off any excess just right there on my wrist. And I did recently just wipe everything down, so it is coming off a little bit stronger, or a lot of it stronger than I was thinking it was going to. So I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush, and the only powder that I have over here is the bronzer. So actually, this needs to be taken down quite a bit. I'm going to take a teeny tiny pump of foundation. I'm going to kind of work that into the brush really lightly. And now my powder blush has become like a cream blush. That's much better. I'm not going for the Queen of Hearts. I'm just going for a nice red lip look. Okay. We're going to go in with our highlighter. If you have a very glittery highlighter, then I would save that for like New Year's Eve or maybe Christmas if you're doing something really festive with friends. But when you're doing a red lip and you are like in your 30s or higher, I would definitely go with something like the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Highlighter or the Bette Shimmering Skin Perfector. Something that is just going to give you a nice glow, but isn't glittery. Something like Soft and Gentle from MAC is going to be too glittery. Just putting it out there for this kind of elevated red lip look. Okay, now we are going to go into the eyes because the complexion is done. We are looking very nice and glowy, and we are ready for the eyes. So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury eyes to mesmerize. I have a very old one, mine is Bette, and we're going to put that all over the lid using my BK Beauty 203 brush. Starting in the center. I definitely need a new one of these. Not a new brush, a new cream shadow. I can tell it's kind of on its last legs. And I'm just going to take a little bit and bring it up past the crease and then just soften that with my finger. Do the same thing on the other side. Again, for more of an elevated, like maybe a work party or maybe you're a teacher, stay away from like putting on a glitter top coat. It's just gonna be too much. doing something nice like a cream shadow that has a little bit of shine to it but not too much shimmer, that's kind of the way to get that elevated look like this. And also learning how to speak is a good idea. Okay, so just with the tip of the same brush, going in with this product, putting it underneath the eyes, just very gently. Ooh, that was my stomach. I beg your pardon. Again, it's early in the morning and obviously I'm hungry. Okay. Whew. Now we're gonna go back in with our bronzer on our 201 BK Beauty brush, and we're just gonna add a little bit in the crease. Just to soften that transition from the eyeshadow on the lid to the rest of the look. I don't want to go in with a darker color because all of a sudden that becomes like a 1920s flapper look or a 1920s 30 movie star, black and white movie star. I'm going to take 217 with my bronzer and put that underneath. Okay, this is where it's important to take a step back. So I'm looking at this cover of the beautiful Rachel, and they have definitely gone back to How to Steal a Million, Audrey Hepburn, right? It's very iconic. But her eye shape and with the netting in front of it, this looks amazing without any liner and just a little bit of mascara. Her brows are super strong, so they didn't want to go too heavy on the eyes. Me, I can tell that I'm out of balance right now. So I need a little bit of liner to lift my eyes. Otherwise, it's looking a little funny. So we're going to do a little bit of liner and a brown in the chocolate shimmer. And if we feel like we need a black, we'll go in with Stila. I don't want to take away from the red lip, but I am going to balance out my features. So I'm going to do just a little bit of a kitten wing. So technically I have almond eyes, but I have a lot of space, and I'm kind of like between that almond round eye. And don't forget that going with a really dark brown during the day is a great way to go. If you feel like you need a liner, or if you feel like when you're done doing your makeup, you just need a little something. See, this side is looking so much more balanced, complete than this side. Oh, especially if you're not doing lashes. If we were doing lashes, then we wouldn't need to do a liner, but I just need a little bit of something to lift the eye. Okay. Now we're just balancing out the liner. I'm trying to soften it a little bit. There we go. Awesome. That is so much better for my eye shape. So just kind of play around with that as you are getting into eye looks and, well, really just makeup in general. Do you look better with a liner? Do you not look better with a liner? If your eyes are really small, you can kind of get away with no liner. If you have a lot of lid space, you might need a liner to just kind of help your eyes out, help them stand out a little bit more. Going in with the Diorshow Lash Primer on both sides. I'm also not walking around with netting over my face, too. So, yeah. It just depends. If you wear glasses, you probably need a little bit of a liner, especially if you have dark lenses. And then Smokey Eye Mascara. Going in with a couple coats to really pop those lashes. I will say that Smokey Eye Mascara is a drier mascara, so you are going to go through a lot of tubes of this mascara if you fall in love with it like I did. You definitely want to wait for those sales at Macy's and Nordstrom when they sell the double packs on discount. Okay, we don't want to build it up too much, otherwise it starts to look a little crazy. There we go. We take one last look, see if we need anything else, kind of zhuzh your hair a little bit. And I think that looks really good. Everything is nice and balanced, and that is the look. I hope you enjoyed this red lip tutorial. This look would be great for holidays. I mean, you can definitely wear it during the day if you're a red lip gal. It's good for office parties. It's good for the office as well. So enjoy all your festivities this year with your new red lip look. And I do fashion videos every Wednesday. I do beauty videos every Friday, and lots of vlogs in between. And I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!